I'm going to show you the very shortest video, which is a very brief video that describes Project Sunlight. It's going to repeat some of what I just said. But I'm showing you this really to show you that there are these videos. And also to make use of our nifty speakers. And as this is loading, we tried to
As New York State Attorney General Andrew Cuomo stated, transparency and disclosure to me are the pillars of restoring public integrity. Prior to Project Sunlight, accessing information was difficult and often confusing to the New York State public. Public access websites did not work together to provide public information, making it difficult for the user to navigate and obtain the information they deserve to know. With the establishment of Project Sunlight came the elimination of barriers to accessing public information. Project Sunlight is a comprehensive public integrity database, essentially making it easier for the user to obtain pertinent information relating to their state government.
So the other videos get into greater depth, but I wanted to demonstrate that that exists on the site. So now I'm going to show you some of the features. And I know we're going to do some question and answers, but when we get into this phrase right here, feel free to jump up with a question as it occurs to you. You don't have to wait until I'm done with the main presentation. But I'm going to start by showing you my favorite part of the website, which is the member item map. So when we were creating this, we were trying to figure out different ways to lay this information out. If we simply had a long list of member items, that would be difficult to comprehend, and it might not be terribly useful. So we've laid this information out in different ways. You could search to see if a particular institution or organization has received a member item, or you could look to see what every individual legislator did with member item money, or you could look to see what member items have been allocated by year. So here's 2008, 2009, by county. So member items, how are they allocated by county? They're officially not allocated by county, they're allocated by legislator. But the more populous counties end up getting more member items because they have more legislators representing them. The more senior members tend to have more member item money than the more junior members. And the members of the majority party, which is in the Assembly, it's the Democrats, and in the Senate, it's the Republicans, have more member item money than the minority parties. This isn't necessarily how things should be. I'm not commenting on that. It's the way the system works. It's the way things are. What Project Sunlight is doing is giving information about how this money is being allocated. So Chautauqua County, if you look at the map, it says 53 member items. So in this year, Chautauqua County has received 53. Erie County, which is more populous, received 277. Let's see about Manhattan. 1,094. Or that's Queens, I'm sorry. New York County, 1,300, 1,301. If you click on the county, it lists all the different member items. And what you see here is the county, the principal sponsor of the member item. So you'll see, if you're looking in Chautauqua County, you're going to see a lot of Senator Young and Assemblyman Parman. The recipient, so these are the institutions, these are the organizations that have received member item money. The amount, and then if you want to see more information, you could view more information. And I think we have enough time for me to actually show that.
Show us the dirt.
Yeah. So this is, all right, Senator Young. I'm going to show you this one. This little screen right there, that's a glitch. Don't tell anyone. That's supposed to close. But here's this one. The Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy. Senator Young was able to secure $75,000 for a project. The title is Acquisition of Fairmount Avenue, Summit Avenue Wetlands in Ellicott and Lakewood. Every member item is administered by a state agency. This is Environmental Conservation, ENCON. Is identified and its address. There's even a phone number here. So if you wanted to contact the recipient, that's there. And so if you scroll down, you would see all the member items. You could sort this by different if you wanted to sort it by how much the member items were, the default is that it's sorted by amount. If you wanted to sort it by who, you could look at that. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the home page. These are some of the more commonly searched databases you could look up lobbyists, look at their activities. You could look up elected officials. Let's look up an elected official. Just to show you how it works. Unless somebody wants to throw somebody out, these are state elected officials. Unless somebody wants to throw somebody out, I'll just use the first name here, which is Assemblyman Peter Abate. And the first page that it shows you the very most basic information. He's an assemblyman. This is his district 49. He represents Kings County. He's the default selection. If you want to look at more information, you press more information. And here you have the option that gives you a little bit more about basically how to contact him, what committees he's on. You could look up the legislation he sponsored. You could look up who's contributing to his campaigns, what member items he's allocating. You could link to his official website. You could also look to see if he's associated with any state contracts. And I'll tell you right now, he's not, because no legislators are. State contracts are mostly come from the governor. But there are some contracts that come from the Attorney General. There are some contracts that come from the Comptroller. Usually when I do this presentation, somebody will say, I used to be able to look up a lot of this information through other means, which is true, but not state contracts, and not the member items. But the state contracts was only theoretically publicly available. Rather than show you each of these different databases, I'm going to give you a demonstration that shows you how several different databases might be of interest. And I'm going to start that by looking up a bill. Now I have a bill in mind, but before I use that bill, let me ask, does anybody want me to look up a particular bill?
Do you need to know the number of the bill?
The easiest way to look it up is if you do. Now, if you didn't know the number of the bill, there's a way to search it up by keyword. But I do that because it will take a little bit more time than I want to spend. But you can search a bill by keyword. You could also know, if you know who sponsors the bill, you could look at that legislator's complete list of legislation.
Hang on 1 second.
All right.
A11838.
A11838. I don't know what this bill is.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. So I'm searching A11838.
Right.
A11838. No data was found on this bill. That is an awfully high number for an assemblyman.
What about a program bill?
Okay.
62, Governor Patterson's program bill 62, S8736.
S8736.
Tax cap on school district increases. Isn't it nice? He's on the spot already. Sorry.
Well, I'm not sure why it's not there. S8736.
S8736. Introduced as. Maybe it's not. That's an it was introduced as.
Yeah.
Is it possible to look up, I'm not sure of the title of this funded program, but
Tax cap on school district increases.
the sidewalk program, Safe Passage to School, from whom Dunkirk got quite a huge sum and Fredonia got nothing?
Let's see. Now, if this is a member item, it would be in there. If it's not a member item, if it is is it a state program?
There were allocations to various localities within the state, and as I say, Dunkirk ended up, I think, with something like $75,000, and Fredonia wasn't able to garner 1 cent.
I think it's a national.
It's a national
that goes
program.
through the state.
This won't have information on national programs. It will have information on state program.
Well, it comes through the state.
Sorry.
I'm not exactly sure why this isn't there.
Sorry.
No, not at all. Well, let me jump ahead here.
Okay.
Where there are glitches, one of the things that we want to do is this contact us button. We actually read all the suggestions that come in.